Hello and welcome to another ARML broadcast. We are sorry for the delay, folks. There was a missing player, and as such, Huang will be replaced by Eel over here. I am joined today with Jeremy, and we'll be covering this exciting A1 game.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays. I think this is his first time playing in a tournament match, so they had to kind of give him a little help navigating the UI, but we are here now.
Cora is the 2 mod. It's Korak as dealer. Um, Korak's hand has a lot of beating shapes, Pinzu, which is inefficient, but not as bad as it could be. You can get a 6-7-8 Sanchoku, you can go for the pin. You got this 2 mod. It's really the fast angle right that we're going to look at, and whether they're going to hedge that Waritsu or not. Everyone else looks like relatively mediocre.
Well, Eldi, I believe I'm not quite sure how you pronounce his name. He's already Ishanten.
Right?
No, not
But,
quite Ishanten. My apologies.
no, you're correct. That
Okay.
was Ishanten. It's just a wider Ishanten.
Mm.
That's 7, except the 7 and the 8 into Tenpai.
Now Tempai, waiting. No, not quite yet. Yeah.
An even better Ishanten. I
All
mean, how
right.
you can more easily use the door. It's a headless Ishanten, so you can accept the 1, 2, 3 mod, 3, 4, 5, 6 pin, and drop the 9. So for a guaranteed good weight, if you fill in the 3 mod. Oh, the immediate backfire. Yeah, nothing you can do about that. I think the decision to make the door easier to use was correct there.
Yeah, just unfortunate.
Korak here too, because the turn after the 6th pin was cut. Of course, there's no way you can know that's going to happen. Across the way, we have a Chitoi Shanten looking for the 9 mod 6 or 7 to get into Tenpai. And does reach Tenpai. Well, this is a what?
Dama? He
Dama.
keep the 7 so.
Going for the Tanyao, but I think this is immediate Ricci waiting on the 9 mod, which is Suji trapped.
Yeah.
Maybe regretting it a little bit.
Mm,
Oh, I gotta apologize here. The 9 mon is twice gone, actually, so
yeah,
that
that's.
makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. Well.
As such, decides to keep the 3 which if you're an Opal player is
Oh!
Suji Toitsu, and it immediately comes right. Richipazuchi Toitanya, no Ura, but that's a 8k to start off the game. And it's gonna be Eel that takes that hit.
Welcome to A1, the ARML League.
Yeah,
Oh, that was rough.
crazy. So the door is the Hatsu here. Dealer's hand has the double east. You want to get that 6 pin to really accelerate this, but a good hand overall. Over to the right, none of the Dora to be seen. Decent shapes. A couple of tricky ones. It's kind of mid tier as far as hands go. First we have the Yakurai pair, D2 Shanten. You can expand to a Manzuhitsu potentially, and also gain Pinzu. Pinfu in the process. And that seems to be exactly what everyone's on. But it's the hand to the left that we have to look at. And as soon as a Hatsu hits the table, that's going to be an almost certain the door.
Mm. Yeah, so Oliver elected not to call on the tune, and now is probably going for a pinfield kind of hand.
After cutting that first one, the 7 Mandro now has a guaranteed Pinfu good weight hand, and if you get the 1 in the front, that keeps it at 2 points to it. However, it's a fast Richie right that's going out here. We have Richie Pinfu, no door, but a nice 5-8 pin weight. There's still 6 left in the wall. Now, as far as weights goes, it's not the most camouflaged. It's an easy to read dangerous area, but if people are going to fold, they're going to fold. If people are going to push, they're going to push. So I wouldn't think too much about it to this Reggie. Oh, a dealer Tenpai now can chase on the 3-pin East Shampoo. Indeed does do that. 4 left in the wall.
Oh my god! Another Richie.
And now a chase from Ash across the table on the 4-7 line. So yeah, 3 Riches here with relatively good weights all the way around. Good value. It is mostly dead. But the double tone gets sumo. So I have reached sumo double tone for at least Mangan. Sorry, Richipat sumo with that much extra that.
Oh my.
And immediately makes back that deficit, taking a 36,000 point lead. So what do you think about dealer's hand here, though?
Here, I guess I cut the non. Potential maybe Honitsu or maybe Chinitsu, but maybe have to draw a few more shapes. I think that's pretty. Well, that kind of helps. I think that's pretty good.
Might even go the Itsu route now.
Yeah.
Might have even been worth considering cutting the 7 so on the second turn, but you give up that efficient sticky tile, and it's not going to be a Honitsu anyway. So
Right.
I like where it's been going. None of the other hands are really that glamorous. The door is hard to use this round in the north. Really, over to the right, you have completed shapes, but no pair. It's one hard shape that Penjani 9 mon. Across the way, we have an Hanko, a bunch of pairs could call for Toy Tanyo, and then over to the left has the best shapes of those 3 that we've just been discussing, and is currently in Tushanten, perfect Tushanten.
Yeah. And it looks like Ellie's going for the probably the Chinitsu at this point.
Yeah, if you have the choice between Tontanki and another Pinzui, I would take the other Pinzui. I mean, the 2 pin is pretty bad here because you see 2 of them, so it'd be a hell weight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easy to swap. That being said, there is Ishanten across the table. Decided to keep that Anko for the possibility of Suhako. It is indeed Ishanten now. Suhako. Looking at the tiles,
Oh, that's a
10 by 5 so 5 on in June. Both Junes are live. Both 5 ons are live. And believe it or not, both 5 so are live. Is the dealer 10 by in the 3/6 pin that might shut this down? 2 so for now saves the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Could switch weights there. Decides not to. I think the 9 pin looks pretty good. I might have swapped the weight to a Shampoo with through the 3 pin gone and
Yeah.
6 pin.
Looks like Korak might be folding at this point.
Yeah, Korak sensing the big expensive hands, right? Basically discards and force the 3 obvious calls. Is not going to take any risks here, feeding the dealer further or dealing into a potential manga or higher.
Mm-hmm.
This 5 pin, well, you don't want to toss it because the dealer's hand's pretty spooky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, works around it with that 5 so. So no Suanko anymore, but Sanoko Chun would be really nice. It draws that fresh North Dora, which is really scary. Well, I guess it's one toss, but it's still very scary across the way from the dealer hand.
Mm-hmm. It could everyone else on the table. It's probably Honitsu or Chinitsu, so they just don't know.
The new Dora is the 6, so that's going to give Dora over to Vince. Probably right, but I don't think that's going to be enough of a convince or to do anything drastic here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to imagine that Ash will take any call into Tenpai at this point. No Tenpai reach, so it's going to be the dealer as the only person in Tenpai gains 3k points and keeps the deal with the 2 Homba. Alright. Well, speaking of G2 Onitsu, this is another hand that can very easily go over to Onitsu. That 2-3 bit makes it a little bit difficult. Oh, with that 5 draw though. Over to the right. Wow. I mean, that's an exciting hand too. I'll go south to Dora East's Origi Ishanten there.
Yeah.
Also put that into Sumo as well. This is a way to argue just 5 pin here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Across the way, nothing compare mediocre shapes going around. And same to the left. In fact, has that lone door, which might come out soon if Cork decides to keep pushing this hand.
And if it does, I imagine Vince would probably call it and then maybe cut the 7 pin.
And pause here from dealer. Decides to keep the 6 pin, an interesting choice, but does have the overlap with the 555 on 6 mode, so looking for expandable middle tiles and other suits. Oh, I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, I would have probably cut the 6 pin here, right? Or the
Yeah, 6 pin. Take the direct E shunt, and I think it's too late in the hand to be messing around for possible 4-6 such. You already have your pair for this, so the 5-5-5-6 mon is quite weak.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you draw the 4 mon here, now that the hand's progressed as it is, you cut the 1-1 mon, but it's the Tenpai to the right that's going to put a stop to that. That 6-9 so wait is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2 left in the wall, but what a big hand. Concealed 2 Dora couldn't even pawn the east or convert it to a triplet and take a 4-7 so wait. A lot of options.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the door. I was just gonna say. I feel like the door is not gonna leave either of Oliver or Korak's hand at this point.
Yeah, Oliver had to have a think about it because that does improve the Ishanten at the moment. But that made tossing the door up, which as the round went is quite a nasty deal. Oh, unfortunately backfires with that Sun Mon. But oh my goodness, Mindset does come out.
Unfortunate.
52 plus the repeats makes that a valuable win. That puts Vince right behind Eel in terms of points. It's worth noting that the player Eel is subbing for Huang will take a guaranteed minus 30 in this case. But Eel is still going to play their hardest to get first here.
Mm-hmm. And so far they've been doing well.
So just take a quick glance at his hands here. Dealer's hand is 2 shunted, but very low value bad shapes connects Chun over to the great man Anko with potential 1-2-3 such. 1-2-3 Ipego. It's also 2 shunted. Across the bay. Chocolate into the connection. Nice 7 pin roll there. Might shave off the 2-4, so yeah. So hedging Shinitsu, hedging the normal hand as well. Lastly, over to the left, it's the Yakubai pair. Doors. Good shapes. And yeah, this is what I was talking about with the dealer hand. Really hard. 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. Oh, this helps.
He's
Okay.
going for Chitoy. Well,
Yep. It's going to come out. It's definitely going to come out soon. I think Hill is maybe keeping it as a safe tile for later, or as a potential clunky target if the horse is blind.
Do you agree with? I was going to ask, do you agree with Sadama? I think that's pretty good at this point.
Yeah, this is a Chito Dora 2 as dealer. It's going to be 9,600. That's more than a non-dealer.
Okay, he's going for
the
guts.
All right, so this 9 pin, the Ricci, this up to among, so at least 12k for this hand. Both. The 9 pin is slightly trapped because it's outside of the 7 pin cut, so it's less likely to be a reading tile for a hand. And if people start trying to bail with the 7 pin, it might become a one-shot tile. People might push it.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I don't have any problems with the 9 Sodama. I think they're both good choices. And Gorik's gonna contest this. Has the choice between the 6-pin Tonki and the 7-mon Tonki. He takes the 6-pin Tonki, figuring it's more live. But unfortunately, all are gone. And, oh, sorry, that's not Korik.
Right.
That's Dio, yeah.
The substitute, Eric.
I thought, this doesn't feel like Korik's play.
Yeah.
To try and turn off the dealer Ricci with a cheap hand. Oh, this Chun Tonki changes things, though. Still 2 left in the wall. On the 9-pin Sumo. Lead Sumo, Chitoi, Door 2. No Ura, but that's going to be a 6k all Oya Hanina. It's going to put Vince way in the lead.
Incredible.
All right. You want to give us a summary of these hands here?
Sure, yeah. So it looks like Farcon's got some completed shapes in the Pinzu. Almost, well, not okay. They're in the progress. They're in development for every suit, but with a few calls, he can probably, call himself into Tenpai. Oliver's hand looks like trash. It's just a bunch of incomplete shapes. He'll have to really hope to draw some draw some tiles and complete what he's got going. Meanwhile, Korak and Vince Sint are both Moshi Moshi with for the tone, so they're both going to be just waiting on the East unless they make it their pair, and they'll be wondering where the heck is the tone. But they're locking each other out. And meanwhile, on the left is Eric, and he could potentially go for Itsu. Oh, mm, yeah.
Yeah, maybe still going for the Itsu. It is Ishan 10 from Itsunomi.
Mm-hmm.
We can to move the dealership on before Vince gets any more crazy hands. To clarify to the viewers, there are 2 Erics here. There's me, that's the commentator, and then there's the player, who is Eric L, who is substituted the eel over to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, other than those Easts not coming out, the dealer's hand is very comfortable here. Actually has chosen to take the route towards Chitoi's wall, keeps that 4th pair. And now is Ishan 10 for Chitoi.
Will he take it?
It's tricky because double tone pair you want to pawn.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still pawn it here, potentially.
Okay, so.
Oh, backfire of the 2-pin. I was going to say, I like keeping the 2-pin around over the 4-mon.
Mm-hmm.
4-mon is more alive, so. We have a Chitoi Ishanten, but now a Suango 2 Shanten, and can convert this to a Toy Toy with that.
Ooh, they just draw the last 5 mon and finish their Itsunomi.
300 things to East. So it's gonna be Oliver's dealership here. There's some connected Monzu shapes you can some floaters, a add Sozukan shots. As you get a Yakai here, you can start. Not too double door acceptance for the 6-1 is nice. Over to the right, we have a very well formed hand. 32 shots in, sticky to the 3-pin. Make this an easy reaching pin. Door 1. Across the way, we have potential for possibly an Ipeco and so on, but I wouldn't count on it. Probably just a standard Ricci door 2. And lastly, over to the left. A very disjointed hand, unfortunately. And Vince is probably going to play this anxiously, especially with that. Now, if you're Oliver here, you want to take full advantage of this dealership. This really isn't the hand to do it with. This progression has been nice, that 3-so draw, the 8-bar draw, again, you'd like to form a pair, but you could do that before you reach Ishan, left with a bad shape and a mediocre shape at best. Certainly not enviable. Oh, we have a... Oh, this is a nice draw, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a headless Ishan over to the right. A whole lot of tiles was sent to 10. I think it's 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 3, 4, 5 pin.
Another Cheetoy from Vincent.
Yeah, it goes for the Nakasuji trap 6 pin. That 9 pin and 3 this card makes it very hard for the 6 pin to be waited on. With the 5 pin Ricci tile, people might be a little cautious. And a chase. So this is going to be a Ricci tile now. To the right, is dead, unfortunately. 6 pin is almost dead as well, but it might be baited out with that Suji trap. And if the dealer reaches Tenpai during anything around the 6, so the could shoot out as well. Do see a fold that's a tough push. It's near the Ricci tile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got 6 pin left. Could be in the dead ball.
That's Dora. I wonder if he's gonna call. Guess not.
Big temp. But take the Yishan 10 and drop the Dora. Imagine would be fine taking. Oh, that is a nice symbol. Reach Sumo Chitway Door 2. Oh, sorry, no Door 2. Wrong hand. 1632. Let's get a further Vince's lead. Moves things along into South 1. Chitway City so far.
Yeah, in the month of July.
Yeah, if you are local, it's repeated tweets about people trying to justify it by saying if you shuffle incorrectly, the pairs tend to stick together between rounds and you have multiple rounds where Cheeto becomes very easy. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. It's something to think about. Alright, looking around here, dealer's hand is pretty standard. Aims for Ricci. Now we need with that 8-pin draw. Can accept a Dora 7-mon with that 5 that's kept behind. Over to the right, we have one of those 7-mons in place. Kind of an interesting 5-5-7-9-9 repeated shape. Other than that, the hand lacks a lot of the integral structural need to complete. Across the way, flexible shapes in upper Manzu. That 1-2 pin is going to kill the hand for a little bit, but is easy to replace. Aiming for a Ricci pin Fudoro 2. And then lastly, over to the left, we have a pair of the round south. And an actual overlap and excess of shapes. The Ricci's coming in with 7-pin Penchan. 2 left in the wall for a Ricci Itsu dealer. This is what Korak needs. A nice mid-tier hand, climb and keep your dealership going.
Yeah, it's not gonna come out from Oliver, but there's still 2 left in the wall. And it looks like Vincent and LL is also folding at this point.
Yeah, tough to justify pushing against a dealer Ricci with hands that aren't great. I mean, really, it isn't entirely folding here. Vince has an E-shot there, actually. You have to shove the 5 so in, but it's Hasuji. You have Door 2 versus early dealer Ricci, so I imagine it comes out here and you chase. Waiting on the Suji 2 punt. Really?
Wow.
Alright, I guess decides to work around it a little bit longer. No, I'm sorry, dude. Vince has the lead, so you don't have to take those risks. Well, you can always still do it. I don't think it's a terrible move by any means. You would have won 2-1 if you decide to still push it.
I think he might be reluctant to drop the Pinsu because there's nothing that's been discarded from Korak that's in the Pinsu suit. And he is waiting on a Pinsu, so
Well, there's one of the 7 pin.
just one left in the wall.
7 draws left. This is unlikely to come anywhere. Sorry, to go anywhere. Oh, there's the last 7. It's asking to seal it. Alright. So we have a draw. Korak picks up 3k, loses the reach he took, unfortunately. But can easily get that round. Just want to do a quick shout out to my friends in the chat who decided to drop in and join, despite knowing nothing about Mahjong.
Great friend.
Yes. Alright, dealer's hand picks up with a Hatsu pair, one Dora, potential Nitsu Pinzu. And it seems like we're going to see that, of course. Takes a kind of midway play with the 7 on, which still preserves the 6-8 so shape, but I imagine that will be cut very soon. Over to the right, we also have a lot of Pinzu and a pair of tournament. So you have a good 7-8 one shape that actually just gets a wall. Across the way, we have an Uncle the 9 pin that good shape. I'm sorry, a bad Ishunten, but could be a powerful Richidor one. That always puts a kind of wrench in people's plans. Those early Richis. Lastly, over to the left, 4 pairs. It's Chito and 2 Shunten. There's some repeated pairs that could be turned into a hand as well.
So it looks like the player on the right is already tempai for the 3 mon. None left. None of them are in people's hands. And oh, what's coming out?
Yeah. It's just how the cookie crumbles. So that's gonna be a Chundor one. It's gonna be 2k. It's gonna kick off the dealership, and Eel is actually gonna pick up the 1k. So that's really helpful. So we go into South 2 here. Things are getting tight. It's going to be a interesting battle between 2nd and 3rd place, unless the dealer takes a good series of repeats here. 61k is quite far ahead. Like 26,500 is no easy bridge to gap, especially against a defensive player who, as we've seen, is willing to template, which is a Ricci.
But the substitute's hand is pretty good here. I wonder if he's going to contemplate Chitoy.
And I definitely would with that 5-sword draw. Opening up on the south is a great option as well. Over to the right, Venus doesn't really have a hand worth reading at. They play this cautiously, doesn't really deal into any big hands. Across the way, repeated Sozu shapes giving the possibility for a 2-3-4 or a 3-4-5 Ipeko. Probably aiming for a Ricci Tanya Ipeko Pinfu. And over to the left, we have a fast Itsu. The east can own the Chun and just get right towards maybe even a to Toy, though with that 2-so draw, it seems unlikely. Korak might just force it though, needing the value. Otherwise, there's no easy path to Manga anywhere, and that north might help.
Yeah, it's still alive. There's 3 left in the wall. Oh, he's still keeping that north though.
Now, if you get the one of the Chun hair, we might just pass Tenpai and toss the easts or the 3-4 so go for the north Tanki.
He needs that value after all.
Looks like Il is not ready to give up that Chun, wants the Tanki on it.
My apologies. I clicked on the back button. Let me
no
go back
problem.
in.
I was just about to tell them Tenpo is having an unexpected problem, as it usually does. That That being said, nothing much has changed so far. Both tunes locked up, and it seems like both Crash and Dealer are willing ways with what could be a good Cheetoy lead. And nice strike for Vince over to the right, who's now Bishan 10. Not the kind of hand you want to call Richie with versus something that could easily be a Mitsu. But I think if you end up on the Ryan, it could be justified in taking hits. Actually, it just decides to fold with the 5 there. And now we have a Chun Tonki across the way. Gosh, that's going to be Cheetoy number 2 for 6,400. And it's slated to come out from deal as the dealer here if another pawn is made for Toy Toy Tenpai.
Yeah, just another 7 pairs hand. Oh,
I was gonna say, if I'm Oliver, I'm probably just gonna the Ricci to begin with, and go for like a Hane Sumo to really increase your chances at getting over 30k. But of course, the hesitance is well within reason with the Honitsu to your right, and the fact that the Chun isn't dropped at all, so it's unlikely for people to drop it. So in cases like that, I prefer to Ricci because I'm just gonna aim to Sumo anyway.
right.
So with 2 draws left, we know it's not going to happen. And luckily, dealer doesn't get Tenpai dealing in to that nasty hand. So Oliver's going to take the plus 3k here. South 3. Vince's dealership, and probably a conservative dealership, but this hand is great. Already issued for 2, 5, 6, 9. You want to get into Tenpai with a Richidora 1.
Incredible. If someone were to toss the non, if you were in his case, would you call it?
Well, let's consider the pros and cons. If we call it, we have an even faster hand. I mean, never mind, you just...
Or you could just draw the 2 mon and just...
I think this hand, the easiest way to diffuse this hand is just to win the hand and look for a hand that's easier to fold with. So I'd take the Ricci there.
Oh, he's going away on the door, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Or it takes the Dora Tonki, so you're going to get non-Dora 2 as dealer, 5,800. There's 2 locked up to the left, so it's unlikely to be seen. But yeah, taking the non-pawn is okay. Obviously, it leaves you without a lot of safety in the hand. And with your lead, you're not necessarily in a position where you want to put yourself into that kind of danger. However, because it's a fast hand, I think you could get away with it. Especially if you had kept that 6-0 pair, for example, to get a 3-6-0 weight in that. The Dora Tonki isn't bad here either, though. I just worried that this hand, with the weight being kind of weak, is going to give the other players enough time to catch up Richie and put Vince in a tough spot.
And Oliver did. Now he's waiting on a Tone Tonki. Another Cheetoy hand.
Yeah, Cheetoy is the name of the game here. I think I would just Richie Tone Tonki as well. I guess there's a desire to draw the Dora and Tonki on instead to make the hand move out. Or simply, once again, to play defensively to try and keep that 3rd place and accept that getting a 2nd or a 30k finish is going to be very difficult. Could switch up here to a Chun and form on weight.
And elects to do so. So all of Oliver's outs are in other people's hands. Korak has 2 tunes and a 4-mon, and Farcon has the last 4-mon.
And none of them seem like they'll come out easily here. So this is going to be at least an Ippei Kohatsu. It can be Ippei Kohatsu Chun, potentially. Vince here has been able to play relatively safe.
Oh no.
Oh, there goes the 4-mon. Alright, so Quark can take another 3,500 and put us in all last year. Be interesting to see how Ash plays this dealership because, as we've seen from the past few hands, they've been very, very conservative and very careful about potentially dealing to other people. This could be a long shot Honitsu though. Dora is 6-mon. Over to the right, Quark is going to have to force something like a Pinzu Honitsu, Pinzu Chinitsu, maybe even a Churin if you get another 1 or a 9 pin. Those are still live. There's one 1 pin left on the wall and two 9 pins. Across the way, Eel is probably just going to aim for also a conservative play to stay above 30k. Getting close to 60 is very difficult in one hand. And then lastly, over to the left, Vince, of course, is going to go for the fastest hand possible to close things out, but isn't afraid to fold either and just play it patient. Does look like Quark has opted for the Honitsu.
Yeah, he just wants to cut his losses. Probably thinking, get me out of this game. I'll do better in the
Well,
next one.
you can get something crazy here, like Honitsu Toy Toy Chun and direct hit the dealer. I think that's enough to overtake. And yeah, it should be. I think less than 16k.
Yeah, 14,500. So should be
Yes.
doable.
Yeah, direct hit would do it. Sumo won't be enough. Only close the 12k gap. But as is Ishanten or that Chanta Chun Honitsu. And I imagine if Oliver isn't careful and draws the north, it could come out and get that direct hit. Especially if Quark gets into Tenpai without a null call.
Yeah, it's very possible. Oh, that's not what he wants to see.
Right out.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, 2-pin
It's a,
Kanchan. Only one left. Takes it.
yeah, it was a hell weight. So I guess just minimize the damage.
That seems to be the plan. And that will end the game. That gives Archon a perfect ATOC win with 3 people sinking below 30k. So he's going to take a plus 50.6, absolutely massive. Neil's going to take a small minus 3.9. Now remember, that doesn't matter because Huang is just going to take a minus 30 no matter what. Ash Oliver is going to take a minus 15.1, and Arthur will take a minus 31.6. Unfortunate end there, but took what he could get, and it was a beautiful hand.
Just trying to update the stats now. It's still stuck at 2 games out of 4.
Yet. Oh, wait. I would recommend we go to the lobby because the previous game actually didn't show up in the communications chat either.
Right, so let me go go there. Okay, so their game hasn't started. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue trying to update the standings.
Hang tight, folks, and get to that second game soon.
Oh, right. The standings won't update, of course, because there's a substitute. So they probably start that game manually. Is my impression. This is this the first time we had to cast a game with a impromptu substitute and not like a long-term substitute for the season?
Alright, I am back. Doesn't look like the second game has started yet anyways.
Right, and I was just musing to myself that perhaps the standings aren't updating because we had a last minute substitute and they had to start the game manually, which also explains why we didn't get the notification that the game had started.
That could definitely explain. I guess it's a good time to remind our viewers that registration is open until September 19th for the fall season of ARML. Even if you don't plan on playing there, I recommend joining the Discord server, getting to know some of the people, and maybe even playing some practice games. Might tempt you into joining us. For those who plan to play in the fall season, definitely join early to get some practice in as well. There's even a chance that you can play as a sub in some of the upcoming games. For example, Neil got to play in this game as a sub, and that gives you valuable experience without so much on the line to worry about. Also, feel free to join our site at AmericanReach.org or follow us on Twitter at AmericanReach. All of our previous VODs are uploaded on the YouTube, which you can see at the Tiny URL at the bottom right of the screen, and I believe we can do this. Oh, there we go. We got it. To pull it up in the chat. So give that a look if you're ever curious in seeing past games, maybe even your own past games if you're a player, and getting some insight from the commentary that other people have done.
Oh, and we're getting some notice from that Huang is active and they're giving them a 5 minutes to join. So if it goes for the full 5 minutes, I guess the next game will start in around 10 minutes because of the delay. Oh, it says we'll start in 25. Okay, so they're actually going to start in 6 minutes then. So the next game should be starting in a minute or so.
And it looks like they've started now.
Right, so let's see if the game has popped up. Here it is.
So, like we're continuing with the substitute then. I guess Gimmick was just a bit too late there. So we'll have Vince starting as East. We'll have Oliver as South. Eel, the substitute, will be playing as West. But not least, we have Quark over to left as the North player. So actually, we have a good 5 minutes before that starts. I think it might be a good idea to just take a breather here.
Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to go on break and then we'll come back right before the game starts and cast some good old Mahjong.
Yeah, thanks for bearing with us in these difficult times. All right, thank you for the wait, folks. This game will be underway any second now. You can see we have some updated standings to the right coming in. Just give that a few seconds. The minus 30 points will not be reflected in a long score. I think that has to be entered manually. All right, and the game has started. Just a reminder, we have Vince as the first dealer. Dora is the north. Vince has a beautiful hand here. Can make a 3-4-5 Sancho, Tompin Sancho Ipeko with perfect draws. Over to the right, also a pretty decent hand. There's a bunch of pairs there, can leverage Toy Toy. Across the way, very nice sequence-based hand, aiming for a Ricci pin from maybe a Tanya. And lastly, over to the left, we have a bit of a mess in the honors, but with that Tuan pair, it's not that bad. And I believe that is 2 Shanten for Chitoy.
Yeah, I wonder if Korak would take it. I think he's been very vocal about his dislike for Chitoy and being one of the worst hands. But we'll see. Drawing that pay kind of makes it look a little better though.
Yeah, and actually decides to keep all the wins around, maybe even hedging at So Sushi, but that seems very unlikely given that the Wests are dead now. You need to get the remaining 2 Norths. Vince here. Ishanten. Great kind of shapes all around. Locks in the Tanya with that 8 so toss.
So that's a 3-sided wait for Ricci Tanya.
Yeah. Now, if you get the 9 pin, you don't get the Tanya, but the 3-6 pin does give that.
Right. And is out. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you can potentially calm the 7 mon if you get it. Really, I think the biggest story is over to the right. We have the Suanko Ishanten, but would have to deal in with the 9 pin to get into Tenpai. And the 9 pin comes out, it's the dealer Genbutsu, so folds against the deal on the Ipatsu turn, but deals into the Ricci for Ricci Ura 2.
Wow.
5200 spit. And also picks up that nice Ricci stick from Core. Gotta be disappointed when you reach it right away, it just gets thrown to the first. You may as well just take it right out of your tray and put it in theirs.
It's never a good feeling.
Well, as is, we're going to pick this up with Ash's dealership. Dora's Chuso can easily accept that. They have this clunky overall, though 2 bad shapes still need to form at least 1 more. A joint somewhere to give this a good chance at completing. Over to the right, we have a Yakuhai pair.
I think the game might be frozen. I'm going to refresh it.
Right. Sounds good.
Home.
So that's Ishanten for the substitute Eric. Just for Hatsu Dora 1 at the moment.
Right. I was going to mention that. Slightly wider Ishanten now, or actually much wider. Tenpai at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so, and 4, 5, 6, 7 pin. You want to draw something in the Sozu, though. You have a good weight.
He could.
I don't think that she does anything, actually.
Yeah.
And now that you 5 so weight, very good. You can get a Mangon if you get one of the remaining 2 so's, both of which are in the wall. So we see Oliver's hand here has kind of progressed towards Chitoy. It's been a running theme with Oliver.
Okay, so he's rejecting Chitoy and heading back towards normalcy at this moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can still draw the 5-8 and you get Chitoi Tenpai on one that you don't pair up. This pawn seems like a natural progression of the hand.
So it's potential Toy Tanyao, but it looks like Korak has hit Tenpai, waiting on the 1 and 4 pin.
Or pin would give this Tanyao and pin through. So a very standard Ricci. That 1-4 pin is 7 left in the wall, which is pretty much the best you can hope for.
You could cut the 8 pin.
You'll have a no Yaku Tenpai, but you're a dealer, so Tenpai is valuable. Oh, there's one of the 4 pins. Now, do you cut the 4 pin or the 7 pin? Probably the 7 pin because all the 9 pins are gone, so it's a little safer.
Right.
And saves themselves a deal in the house, but now this 4 pin has to come out.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. That's going to pick up the Takame for Korak. That's Ricci pinned for Tanyao. We're 1 for 8,000 with the Kiriyage manga turned on. Wow. Unfortunate, but entirely the right.
Yeah, the wall giveth and the wall taketh, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we're going to move into Il's dealership here. Doris the 6 pin has one of those. Could get a 1-2-3 Sanshoku. And if you pair up the Dora, you're perfectly happy with that. Over to the right, we have the Yakuai there. A kind of mediocre shapes and lower Sozo Mutsu would definitely work. Rest away, kind of the most bled hand of them all so far. Needs a lot of tender love and care to get anywhere. And then lastly, over to the left, we have the Yakuai pair in good shapes. Could even force a Manzu Honitsu, but it looks like they're just going for a normal hand.
Yeah, it's not too. It's it's not desperate times yet. It's still quite early in the game. You don't have to force crazy hands just to climb to the top. I mean, the second place is anyone can get second place at this point, or even first place was a good hand. It's a relatively close.
So Eric's going to be an E-Shanten here, sorry, 2-Shanten here, but definitely wants to swap out the 1-2 pin at the very least. And potentially stick something to the 6 pin. You got to choose now if you want to keep the 1-2 pin or drop the 6 pin. Actually decides not to take that shape upgrade. Might have thought about tossing a 2-so, because the 1-so makes for a safer pair later if you have to bail. It's also easier to get if you wait on a Ricci on it and another pair. But I think this is fine. All falls on the 7 deciding whether to call or not, but of course if you call with the hand, there's no Yaku. But there is Yaku over to the left and a Tenpai on the 1-4, sorry, just the 5-8 mon.
Fortune, Dora 1.
All the current 5-8 mons that are locked up are very well locked up. They don't seem like they'll come out naturally. But there still are 3 left in the wall to draw. And there's one of them. Yeah, so Yakuhai Dora 1 for 500, 1,000. To move things right along into East 4. Forex dealership had time to make up those points lost in the previous game. This is a nice hand to do it with too. This is a clear Tanyao. Bad shapes, but you can start calling immediately if you want to. It's already 2-Shanten. Over to the right, we have easy acceptance for the Dora, which is the 8 mon. And maybe even a Pinzu Itsu. Across the way, we have that Ton Yakuhai pair. That's going to be a hand that just tries to go, go, go. And can pick up the Dora as well. Maybe. I was going to say Pinfu if you get another pair, but that one makes this into a hand. Lastly, over to the left, Yale's going to be stuck with hard to complete shapes, but if they do complete, you can have a nice Sanshoku Dora 1 here. Contemplating that 9-so chi, decides to take it. Sanshoku is guaranteed.
I wonder if they're going to. No, yeah, I was wondering if they're going to agree for Jun-chan, but it looks like they're just going for Sanchoku Dora 1. Oh, nice 7-pin draw.
And now E-Shanten. worth noting that there's an Ishanten over to the right as well, looking for the 8 mon 3 pie. And there's the 3 mon. So you have to take a Dora Kanchan, but I've played Vince in the past. I know he's not afraid to take weights like that.
Mm-hmm.
So jams it right in. And there's 3 left in the wall. So we can see Quark's going to play around with this 3-so. Might shove the 2-so now that it's 1 chance and Sotogawa. It's outside of the early 3-so from Vince.
Yeah, he did that.
Sorry, that's Oliver. Quark is the dealer.
Uh,
But Oliver did the same exact thing, so I guess it kind of worked out. And
yeah, I was so sure you were talking about Korak and you predicted this too, so and then turned out you were talking about Oliver who did the same thing.
Quark has managed to recover into Ishanten. Would have a Suji trap wait now. But there's only 2 7-so left. Sorry, 1. 1 is cheat over to the left. And Eel is in a like an awkward spot because you need 2 of the remaining 3 7 mons to complete this hand safely. And actually just decides to bail.
Meanwhile, there's still 2 left of the Dora 8 mon in the wall. Oh. So
And
freeze.
Quark chases.
Oh.
So yeah, Quark takes the chase on the 258. Once again, Oliver is there to snatch away the reach stick and take a cheap win on the 2-mon Tanki Sumo.
I think there was only 1 2 mon left too, so the worst weight wins.
All right, South 1, it's Vince's dealership, a chance to get over 30k and make a name for himself. This Hatsu parries can be an easy way to do that, and if you get a pair of the Dora and the Golden, over to the right, a lot of pairs. Well, I say a lot, but it's only 3. I'm exaggerating a little bit as a Cheetoy lover. But yeah, the easy conversion to Tanya, maybe a 2-3-4 choke over any kind of reachy hand. Across the way, yeah, nothing great there yet. But over to the left, we have a potential Monzu drawn 8-9 Mon. And is already in Ishanten, though it would be a Richinomi at the moment, a bad weight. Now dealer Tenpai here can take the 2-mon Kanchan, or could potentially con here out of Tenpai and try and get into Tenpai again on a better weight. Actually decides to Dama, perhaps wanting to draw that upgrade before doing the con with the one-shot chance.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting. Could have taken the 2-3 pin weight, but wants to be greedy for that con. I might have considered just taking the 2-3 pin weight. It's not that bad, even though we can see that it's mostly dead.
Okay, so conned himself into a pretty great weight.
Yeah, this is a good weight. The new Dora is the 1-so. Doesn't look like that's going to help out anyone but Quark over to the left, who will have to draw the 2-so to get it, and just draws it immediately. This is a dangerous 3-sided weight, though. So it's a Hatsunomi, but you have a lot of fu. You get 32 fu for that on-con of the 1 pin, and you get another 4 for the Hatsu. So that's 36 total. You win on the 8, get another 4 for the 7-so. So I'd put it up to a total of 60 fu. And another 2 for the sumo, so 70 fu on the sumo. But it's a Ron that gets the win here. 1 Han 64, 60 fu 29 Han. That's an unusual score to see. It's same as if you bump the hand up 1 Han and have the fu.
Yeah.
And another good starting hand too. You look at this, you have a Dora 2, you have the south that you can just call into Ishanten. Fantastic.
Wow.
Over to the right. Pairs again. But not terribly slow, but not something you want to open up with. Ideally, across the way, that is a Pinfu 2 Shanten. with good ships all around, so we can expect that to compete with the dealer. And lastly, over to the left, Korik has a bit of a struggle for this hand. Is 2 10, but no real value in bad shapes. Now, what I find interesting here is the dealer cheated that 2-3-4, but instead of keeping the 5 on, decided to keep the west safety. I feel like because the south is Autosuke, I might have just kept the 5 aimed for Tanya.
Surely the west comes out here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he did quite an upgrade. Those souths remain to be seen. Could easily draw it. Needs to pause for a second there to consider that she doesn't put to Tenpai. With Dora 3, you're looking for every opportunity to slip in, even if it means an Antosuke wait on the side. That is a Tenpai card. You can change away 2 soap, 1 for the 4 soap.
Oh, it worked out.
Yep, we have Tenpai, 4-pin south. There's only one 4-pin left, so the chance of it back at you drawing the Dora is quite low.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than going for a Atazuke hand and then drawing the hand that would complete but you don't have any Yaku. Or going for a Tanyo hand, you draw the 1 or the 9.
Now, while there's no direct evidence that Vince has a lot of value here, if you consider the fact that Vince cheated from a Rhiannon very early and then is dropping these disjointed tiles in the first row, could potentially infer that the value he does have does in fact exist. Korak doesn't care though. Korak's gonna go for the 7-pin Richie. And now there's a south draw over to the right from Oliver, but decides not to tosses the Genbutsu 6-mon.
Yeah, so all over, Korak's got the Richi Sanchoku, and there's 3 left in the wall. Is out 7-pin. Oh, yeah, everyone's just hanging on to everyone's weights.
Oh, this is gonna deal in unless if you drop the south or you drop the 1-2 so you can avoid it.
Oh, nice dodge.
And Vince isn't out of it yet. Could still draw the 6-pin. Like go for Tanyo, but actually Richie across the table is gonna deal. Richie Sancho could draw 1 for a Manga.
Wow.
And Ellie's gonna take the hit. So Korak probably plenty happy about his standing going into stealth 2 after that last game. But Oliver is Ishanten. So as happy as you are for winning that hand, you might just start this hand off groaning because this could get Tenpai very, very fast.
Wow.
Doesn't look like any of the other hands are fast enough to compete. Maybe Korak can take this hand in a calling route. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a good hand over to the left as well that can call Yakuhai. And it has just drawn the 7-mon Dora. It doesn't want it, apparently. That surprises me.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have kept that and tossed the northward.
Oh, and then
mon.
Oh, it backfires immediately too. It's the 8-mon draw.
Yeah. I just need to draw the 6 and the 9-mon to complete the disaster. I think interesting choice from Ash to end up keeping that 8-mon around after all. Definitely wants to hedge getting the Dora, but with the 9-mon's gone, it's not as good as it could be. And actually decided to go back on that a turn later and keep the 2-mon, which is connected to the uncle. And unfortunately does miss Tenpai there. If you had kept the 5, and that would have been Tenpai on a 1-4-pin. Or maybe I'm missing something here because there's a 4-pin discarded as well. Regardless, we have Richie over to the left. Gonna be a Richie on a Peitanki. It comes right out.
What?
So the once discarded Peitanki is a great weight there for exactly that reason. We have Richie, Patsu, Hatsu, Urawan, Mangan. And that's gonna put Vince right back into the race. Barely 2k away.
Yeah,
or actually 3k, 3,300 exactly, my bad. So you want to do a tour around the table?
Sure. Yeah. Let's take a look. So, uh, L currently has a on triplet of the 8 mon and a pair of the valueless pay for him. Uh, we'll see how that hand progresses. Meanwhile, Korak, he has some. He needs to draw a few more tiles to complete some shapes. Though he has a plethora of Pintu. We'll see how that hand develops. Uh, Meanwhile, Vincent's hand, yes, it's a couple disjointed honors. Unfortunately, no pair, so he can't really call. But um, yeah, again, he have to hope to draw into better shapes. Yeah, and meanwhile, Oliver, maybe if they draw the one so they can go for a 1-2-3 Sanchoku with Dora, but yeah, that just counts on them drawing the one so, and it's completely dead, so that's not happening.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Could though convert to a 2-3-4 Sanshoku. That's also asking for a lot though, given what we can see. Vincent here is going to be aiming for at least 3,300 points. So looking at a 3-Han hand, probably a Riichi Dora 1 or Riichi Chun Dora 1. And with that 5-pin draw, it seems like that'll be the case. Now, if you call into Tenpai here, you can take a direct hit off your point rival to take first. You'd have to hit Korak specifically. And if you manage to get the final 2-mon, you could even consider a Dama for Sanako. Actually, does take the pawn, so we're looking for that 8-so Dora to come out from Korak on the direct hit. Probably happy to take it from anyone, though, and steal the second. It's kind of an awkward place, though. So you're waiting on the Dora. You don't necessarily want it from the other players, but if it does come out, it's a bad enough weight that you might have to just take it. Now, there are some upgrade paths. You can get a Toy if you draw a pair and then pawn. Yeah. Something like a 1-mon pair up. So the 1-mon Argon, so probably more likely to be a 3-mon, and then you have to get the final 3-mon. So it seems unlikely that this hand will increase the value in a meaningful way. Could con the 5-pin.
Yeah, he could. And let's see, Rincheon, Kaiho, Chun, Dora. That'll be enough, I think.
Absolutely. That'll be
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a Dama because Oliver doesn't want to risk getting a 4th place here. Now, that doesn't save you because the dealer can just as easily win a hand here and overtake you immediately.
Well, now he has Pinfu at least, so he can win.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm treating this like South 4. Vince can easily take the 8-so rod from anyone. It's just preferable to take it from Korak.
Yeah, it's good to head into South 4 with a lead on your competition, especially when your competition is sitting dealer. So, I understand.
Now you toss the 1-mon here because it's safer. And that gives you 2 opportunities to con and upgrade to Toy, though it doesn't matter with only 2 draws left. Oh, and denied? Oh my goodness. I was going to say that Ash was denied a draw there, and that gives Vince the Haite Sumo.
That was Upper Han we were talking about.
Yeah, and that immediately puts Vince into first place with 43,300 to Korak's 40,100. So Vince only win one hand here, whereas if Korak wins and it's not a big hand, Korak will probably have to try and ramp up the repeats to escape falling into second because of the Agariyame Nashi rule. This hand is A potential way to do that, I mean, you have the Dora 1, you have a probably, you can get a 789 Sanshoku. Over to the right, Vince's hand is progressing towards nothing really. It's kind of a dismal hand to start off with. Maybe a Richinomi. It's the way we have a lot of pairs for Chitoi. It's Chitoi Ishanten already from Ash. I mean, yet again, the Chitoi strikes. And then lastly, to the left, we have an Uncle of the Hatsu, and an Ishanten there for Richi Hatsu. Now, Korak here has been able to finagle this to that potential 789 Sanshoku. So this is a fantastic hand at the moment.
Interesting. Eric. Oh, okay. I was gonna say they choose not to call on the 3-pin and just draw the 6-pin right afterwards. So rewarded for patience.
I think the problem if you call the 3-pin is that you have a 1,000 point hand that won't give you a good shot at getting into third place. So I like the decision to defer to the Ricci. Now, we see a chase from Oliver, which is, I think, a little bit unusual because in the past we've just seen Oliver play more carefully in situations like this, but probably figures that with the point rival in Ricci, it's unlikely that he can get away with just sitting there, so chases for the value. This is a 7-mon Dora Tanki.
Unfortunately, they're all in other people's hands.
Right, and the 2-5-mon is 5 left in the wall, so I imagine we might see a deal-in from Oliver to his point rival deal. And that would be a Gyakuten, I think. Orak himself now joining us in the chat to point out that the sumo also puts Oliver over 30k. But it's a sumo from Eel that comes Ricci, sumo, Yakuhai. No Ura, but 1,000, 2,000 with the Ricci sticks should be enough. Indeed it is. So we're going to end with Vince taking a plus 27. Another nice win there. Korak's going to take a plus 13. Eel, the sub, is going to take a minus 14. That's going to be another negative score for Huang, though. And Ash is going to take the minus 26.4, despite the conservative efforts earlier to save the third place. Overall, 2 very exciting games.
Very, and we just updated the standings. So Korak sitting near the middle, and even though Oliver took a last there, he's just right above Korak. And Vincent's looking pretty good. He's all right there with Amy. And Huang, he's going to join me down the bottom at about 107.8 points.
I don't know if it's a single minus 30 or 2 minus 30s. Not sure how that works, but yeah, it doesn't have that penalty applied yet once again. That being said, is there anything else that you want to highlight from the game?
I'm just astounded by all the Chitoi hands that happened across both games. It was a very interesting session. Yeah, I think we saw some pretty good play out there.
Yeah, definitely an abnormal amount of pair-based play. And it wasn't like it was being forced either. The hands kind of just progressed naturally that way. But yeah, I look forward to seeing the other 2 games from these players in the future. Actually, that was their last game, wasn't it?
Yeah, so yeah, they were just finishing up their set, so they're done for round 1, and they're just waiting for round 2 now.
In that case, I look forward to playing them in the future.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, well, we have some good matches lined up for you tomorrow and in the coming days, both in A1 and the other divisions. But for now, that is the last match we'll be covering tonight. So once again, I just want to remind you guys, if you'd like to join us, the fall session is open for registration currently. I recommend joining the Discord early so you can get some practice games in, get to know some of the folks. You can even ask strategy questions or just watch. You even have a chance to play as a substitute player just like Eel did. Also, be sure to check out our Twitter at American Ricci and our website, americanricci.org. Links will be posted in the chat for our YouTube channel where you can watch the previous VODs as well. Well, if that's all, I'll be signing off for tonight. Thank you very much, Jeremy, for joining me here. It was a blast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I hope to do that again in the future.
All right. Good night, folks.
Thanks for watching.